Beautiful Aquarius. Wow, what a beautiful year ahead for you, for sure. Certainly, you got Jupiter in your sign, Saturn also. It's kind of a twist, but it's a twist and shout. It's an ecstatic one, huh? I keep on referencing different songs and different videos. It's funny. So we have like a very interesting surreal edge to it all as well. We still got Pluto in your 12th house all through the year, and it might not really give a lot if you don't really know how to keep it. So you have things coming. Did you know you could probably have done this all along? There is a lot of stuff, a lot of fluff, a lot of love, a lot of care, a lot of energy, a lot of potentiality, a lot of opportunity that probably could have been there for a while. I think that sometimes we become very forgetful. We don't really need the things that we're doing, but we can't really do that main thing, that large thing. So, for example, you could have always bought a house. I mean, you could have always had a friend. You could have always gotten a cat. You could have always it could have kind of always been yours. So like the thing is, a lot of these elements that are coming true for you now is kind of like being there, done that, and not many Aquarians really like to know that, but many things could also be very unprogressive that they want to be part of, and they need sometimes safety and protection, and they don't really want to be part of the whole, and that's also true and okay as well. So I'm kind of like thinking about you and how you deliberately create, how you deliberate, how you fill out your space. And I'm also feeling that not many of us, people in general, really know who you are till there is something respectful, rememberable, believable, and kind of strangely predictable about you. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of it all. So sometimes there are certain things about Aquarius that are going to have to turn into something very plain, something very done, something very stylistically appropriate, and in a sense emotionless, because it is so boring and it's so true. Jupiter, Saturn, so true. Oh my god, that is so true. So like one of the luckiest things about you guys right now is the fact that you have this good big old heart, and you just got this one big thing that you're doing, or you just do that thing that you're gonna do, so there's like a stabilizing agent to who you are here now, and that I believe is the freedom that you actually want, but you might not see it. So like, oh gosh, I'm still wearing that good old sweater, I'm still doing that good old thing, I'm still helping mom around the house, I'm still doing that good old thing, and that good old you is what we really need right about now. Now, the main thing is that you have forgotten, but you've remembered, or you've got something about you that is really true. And that I think is going to be like the beginnings of the greater, new, more galactic and more improved world. Simply because you can just be that. And sometimes you don't really know how much worth you have and how lucky you are for other people just because it's so boring for you. Yeah, you guys, yeah, sure. Yeah, I play guitar and I sing. Everybody love it, but you're like, yeah, big old deal. It's a boring old thing that I've always done and I always used to do. So like that kind of like a boring feeling, or like that boredom, that boring edge, that boring energy is what it takes to sometimes enlighten somebody else. So like, for example, if you just chop wood, carry water, you potter around your garden, you trim your roses, you polish your boots, you walk around the earth, you're saying the same old thing. And sometimes, there's some things that are crystallized by now. So it's like, I just like to wear my sweaters, I just like to pet my cat, I just like to talk about, welfare of animals, I just enjoy my life, my little old life. And that is something that you don't know, but that's actually the most significant, or the most treasured or sincere aspect of yourself. So why you are potentially a treasure right now is not because you hate this and feel this, and still might have an insecurity or significance issues. It's not that, it's not any of it. The main reason why you are treasured is because you are so old-fashioned, and there's something very ironed out and very, even like, the world forgot, like that kind of feeling coming through. And in my case, that's also happening to me. I do have a Jupiter return right about now. Right about now. Sure. Sorry. It's been a long day. It's night now. Feng Soul brother. Okay. Right about now, it's happening. And I'm understanding that, like, yes, having Aquarian aspects in my chart as well, and having an 11th house sun, I also understand that there's going to be something about me that I don't value, and I don't even know that I've got, that another person can really benefit from, or another person really likes. And I think that has got to be something that we need to understand with a pinch of salt, and we have to become more alike and not feel abused. You know, sometimes Aquarius has a certain type of affinity, and they don't like that. They're like, what do you mean this is all I'm doing? What do you mean this is all I have? Like, what do you mean that's why you like me? Why? And that, I think, is actually the biggest point. I think that's actually the biggest truth. And within it is no lie. You know, like, so for example, in my case, lately I've been phenomenally seen for playing violin and singing. And it's something that I've done since I was a child. And I never thought it was anything. I actually even thought it was debilitatingly boring and confusing and uninteresting. And also I've been noticed lately for my art, which I never thought I would ever give away. I never thought I'd show anybody. And there sometimes, like, is the big kind of this the point of it all. It's like sometimes we don't really know what we have until it's gone, until somebody else appreciates it. It's like giving it away, or giving it a way to surface and be around people. And yeah, sure. Also, another thing that I've noticed for me with Aquarian aspects is not anyone has seen me before, simply because I was working so hard on not being me. You know, like, there's certain things that, you know, sometimes we don't like about ourselves. Like, I never really liked my hair. I never really appreciated my physicality. I never really realized what I had until something happened, and it's become so boring and old-fashioned for me, and I stopped minding it, and now it's kind of become like an archetype for someone, or now it's become very interesting for other people, for some reason, to experience me and who I am. Without a doubt, I'm bored, but, you know, that's kind of like how it's happened in a very funny way. So I believe also for yourself, there could be things that are completely mundane, boring, and not even up to you to change anymore. It's like there's no way, like, there's just no way it's just how it is. And for some reason, for some interesting, unique, galactic, global reason, that is what works. That's what works for this person, that's what works for this tribe, that's exactly what this team requires. And not just that, this is what people want to learn from, this is what people want to be more like, this is what people want to understand. And that sometimes, you know, stifles me, you know, like, makes me feel crazy. Like, I've had this all along. Like, I played violin since I was 6 pretty well. I've had this all along. I just never thought it was anything until now I hear people speak about it, like, wow, you know, now I see people interested in it and even want to learn from me, you know. So, like, that's not something I've ever thought I would ever give any room for. And now is basically one of those interesting galactic global times to understand you. And if there are certainties in your life, or there are certain things that you are completely a part of, there's certain people that are in your tribe, or, you know, you're within a certain type of relationship or situation, or you're just like creating a certain cycle, and you're getting an unusual amount of respect for certain things, let that be yours. You know, however you surfaced right about now, especially if Jupiter is over an aspect in your chart, you know, in the early degrees, you know, at the end of December here, if you are feeling it, you know, maybe you should consider and connect the dots as to why you haven't trusted yourself enough before, why you couldn't just be who you are before. Like, why couldn't you just, like, out yourself before? Why couldn't you just be normal before? And what made you, like, flood yourself with energy and chemicals and ideas and thoughts and information that actually prevented you from just being yourself? So that's something that I have to also come to terms with, like, what has prevented me from just being myself, you know. And that sometimes takes time to understand, and sometimes it hurts, but until we find why, sometimes we can't move on. It's like, why haven't I done this before? Why haven't I done this before? Why did I not do this before? Why couldn't I just be this before? And why did I, you know, spend all this time, for example, researching and doing and creating and making and marketing, when I could have just been this whole time? And that's something that I believe is going to be very trustful and beautiful for us, as we're going to maybe start to teach the world what it actually means to be self. And what it never meant to be self also, you know. So for example, makeup and hair, trying so hard, being that person, doing the right thing, trying to give the wrong person the right response, trying to be friends with the wrong group of people, anything of the like, has also been part of the dream for me, and been part of my own self-demise. And we also have to understand that we are actually literally killing ourselves through depression and other psychic disease, simply because we can't just let the light that we are be the light that it is. We can't just let it be, And then also, yeah, all through December you might already understand that, and you might have to somehow deliver yourself, from all of that regret. And then as we hit 2021, by January, you already kind of have that feeling, that thought of like, what did I do? What have I done to put things wrong? Like, what did I do to prevent this? Or why did I stand in the way of this? What was it inside me that, like, what's the barrier here? There are going to be plenty of barriers that you have to transcend later if you're doing this now. I think that the main thing is, well, this is interesting. Either you want to really pick yourself apart, and you can do that, and you probably can do that with great success right about now. Or you can just forget it and move on. Okay, so that's one of the greatest things about you right now is you don't really need to necessarily understand everything or try to put your picture together, and you can do with great success. Now you can probably really strategize and achieve and understand how to better use your money or force or energy, and how to achieve fame, or like how to achieve like the greater conclusion of your life, how to be a better man or a better woman. You can achieve that now. You can do that now. But also, why not just shine? Shine, you good thing, shine. So why I'm saying this is because without you moving past these certain, oh my gosh, like eurekas, life will not help you out. So the best way that I believe you can do is wear whatever is easiest, say whatever's effortless, become as lofty and kind and just casual, almost half asleep, goofy, almost goofy with what you are. Really wear your own smile, really wear your own color, like wear your own stuff, like be as you can, and don't do any more with your previous selves. Like, oh my god, I gotta get my 24-year-old self on the phone and tell her, oh my god, don't date that guy, why did you date that guy? Like, oh my gosh, I gotta get my 35-year-old self on the phone and tell her, no, don't do it. Please save your money, please don't do this, And, all of this is very kind of silly, like there is something about it that is kind of dumb, but the main thing that I think that you have to do is just, you gotta go. It's like you are taking your bags with you. It's like you're taking maybe very, very significant things. Imagine that you're moving from an old family house in a way. You're taking some significant learning, some significant things back with you to heaven or something like that. So it's kind of like this feeling like, ciao for now, So I think as we age and as we grow, we have to understand that it's a significant part of us has already been everywhere, and it's already known what heaven was, and already know what the ideal human experience has been. And we just gotta like let it go that at some point in life we had sexual obsession, we had dysphoria, we had body image stuff, we had bad experiences, we had drug addictions, we had negative lives, we've spent and we've made and we did the wrong thing. Allow that to leave you. Yeah. And become like kind of like a breath of fresh air maybe to yourself, and just be like, okay, look, I'm just gonna pack my bag of life with the greatest things. Okay, now I know that I'm like amazing at this, or like now I understand that people actually really never didn't get me. They were just waiting for me to be true, like, wow, I now understand that like this is not important, I'm going to just start doing this now. Wow, like why did I even try so hard? Like why did I even do that? Like why did I even what was I thinking, huh? You know, so the main thing is to put down the what was I thinking and to start with the I actually think that's really important to me. You know, like if you are picking up a metaphorical, metaphysical house, you know, full of memories, full of experiences, just take the good ones. Take the good ones and leave. And the main thing I think for me, like as it stands also with this Jupiterian return, huge expansion actually, just like I have to breathe through it and just say, okay, cool, all right, I had no idea that was my experience. I had no idea that was a shortcut. I had no idea, you know? I had no idea. All I had to do is the stuff that I did as a kid and life would work out. You know, I had no idea. I had no idea that my 5-year-old self knew me better than I knew myself at 35. I had absolutely no idea. I had absolutely no idea. And that's, I think, the beauty. You know, I think that's the beautiful feeling. I think that's the beautiful part. That's the dream. And I also believe that no matter who or what or where, you know, what else is going on, who else is appearing or disappearing in your life, what else is flickering on and off, this is the point right now, December's end. What am I? Who am I going to be like? What is the suitcase of my memories and dreams, aspirations and evolutions, and who am I going to next time be? Like, wow, I fully like claimed my space in heaven in a way. I'm fully claiming myself as a human, or like as a humble, you know, sitcom character of my own design. How beautiful, how incredible it be. And then let it all else be just whatever, like a passerby dream, someone else's dream. You know, sure, like, you know, I've once done this, I've done that, you know, I've eaten bad things, you know, I've said negative things, you know, I was part of a bad group, and that's it. Make the shadow self warm as well. Tell it like, wow, that was really big part of my process. And then that's it. Whatever. And let it go. And not normal now to talk about bad things. Just don't talk about bad things again, if you can. And look at you. Like, look at you, love yourself again, or witness you accepting things. Sorry. That are part of a bigger picture than you ever even needed. Maybe this is a much larger picture than you ever even needed, some of it. Like you didn't aim to meet that person now and you did, or you didn't aim to buy that place and you did, or you didn't even think you would like love that person and you are, you didn't even think that you start a gallery and you have, like you didn't think, you know. And by the way, this is not bad, but like some of it is outdated dreams and some of it is just gonna come and go. And there's a lot of it that is going to also not go. So now understand what you are and who you are and what you're manifesting. This is making me a little bit ill actually thinking about it, because some of it is not able to go. Okay, some of these people probably will never stop caring for you. You know, some of this concept is going to stay forever. There are traces that will never leave. It'll never go. You know. It'll never go. Like some of this stuff, you know, it will never leave. You know, like there are certain things inside of this vortex that you're painting yourself for the next year or so. It is not going to be that easy to wash it out because you are in the state of supreme power right now. And there's nobody that knows how to do it better than you. Okay? And nobody knows how to do it greater than what you've done. And that's it. Some of it is eternal or it's extreme, and it's very esoteric, it's extreme. And it's mind-boggling and it's life-building and it's life-supporting. So that's the thing, is like a lot of things that you have done are needed, you know, and also much of your journey is holy. And now it's a really good time to come to terms with that. By the end of May 2021, you can't change certain things. Okay, it's done. You know, it's finished or it started or that's it. Okay, by the end of May, okay, you might not ever release that experience, or you might never walk out of a certain, there's a certainty okay, at the end of May, you might not be available for anything else but this or but that. So if you're starting a career, if you're starting to preach, if you're starting to make money from certain things, there is going to be a certain type of like a shutting off edge, like an ending, and that's like that. Not many people are going to see it now. Most people are going to see that sort of imprisonment by design, by mathematics, by world connection, only later on. So please understand that now. And also by September, as you are, learning, walking through and understanding what you now are, or who you're now with, or what you now have to do, all of this, by September, okay, you may not want to, but you may create only one thing. Okay, so that's when we see a master at play. What makes you a master? Doing that one thing. September, sometimes it's very easy to see as to how far you've come through one thing that you're doing. So for example, you are now taking care of your mother. Okay, amazing. Okay, so by September you are, getting rid of all the stuff. You are reforming your life. You are deliberately disconnecting, dissecting and shifting. Okay, that's where you're at. That's your mastery. Perhaps, or in September you understand you're no longer an addict and you can heal other addicts too, and you are a reviver and a healer and a workaholic, maybe, on yourself and on your soul. That's also something that can happen. So there are like 30 million ways in which this can go. At the moment, don't try to predict that, but yes, definitely between May and September, there's going to be a lot of stuff that is just maybe working for you, and a lot of stuff that is working against you. So for example, the kind person is 1,000 times more obvious. A sick person is 1,000 times more obvious. A sad experience is probably much harsher than usual. And a fun experience might be much brighter than usual. So all the colors are much more saturated. And also there is a sharper edge on your life. And all of that is going to, I believe, make a certainty. And we have got to be okay as to what that certainty is. So please play your cards right. I'm not telling you what to do here, but by the end of May, you might not have that many places to go. And you might get anxious. Sometimes life shortens our palette or helps us through a certainty in a design, and we might rebel. So you might rebel against many things, and you might corrupt or combust like in 1,000 ways. And then when May ends and you have all this time, all the spectrum to evaluate yourself better, or understand, like weigh yourself up better, or make yourself greater at who you are, it might get very weird as to what it all comes to if you don't believe in some truth. Sometimes we need a spiritual path. Sometimes we need a spiritual truth. We need some kind of crux or belief system. Please sort yourself out now so that you don't fall off the rails 20 million times before you get to September and understand who you are. September's going to show all. And then by October's end, you don't want to be that. And that's when October launches another shift for you. And you might not want it, but here we are. You're going to have a new wish. Or you're going to have a new program. Or you're going to possess yourself with a completely new person. Or you're never going to be what you were in 2021. 2021. There are going to be absolute certainties and absolute robust givens in this year given. But at the same time, I think you might want to walk away from it all, because why you are the master that you are is that you're never certain, or that you're never fully fulfilled in who you are. And that makes you the person in the group everybody is looking up to also, forever and never again. But at the same time, it feels to me that you've got to release quite a lot of jealousy, issue, hatred, anything against yourself or another person, because you see, you can become a very unusual type of avatar and have a very strange or strong energy that you're embodying by the end of 2021, simply because you have chosen to feel unhappy or uneasy, though avatar right now you are. So the avatar is now, okay, but you will become a different certainty in another 12 years. So you are now launching that next project, or are starting to become the next more magnificent version of what a human can be as the master masculine sign. So thank you very much. Enjoy, and I'll see you next time. If you want to know more, there's stuff in the caption below. Sorry for the dark room today, just how it happened. I don't know why. Enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.